Have you ever had a moment in life where something you really wanted didn't work out? A job you dreamed of suddenly disappeared? A relationship ended even though you prayed for it? Plans collapsed for no reason, and you were left wondering, why is this happening to me? If you've ever been through something like this, then this video is just for you. Because sometimes what you think is a disaster is actually Allah saving you from a disaster you couldn't even see coming. Yes, it's true. Allah protects us in ways we do not understand. Sometimes He doesn't show us what He saved us from. He just removes us from it. He shuts doors. He ends friendships. He delays plans. And we cry, we question, we feel lost. This is the deep mercy of Allah. He sees what we don't. He knows the future we cannot predict. He protects our hearts, our health, our faith, even when we're unaware. Just like a parent pulls their child away from danger, even if the child cries in confusion, Allah pulls us away from things that may destroy us, even if we beg Him to keep them. That's not punishment. That's love. So stay with us. Let us walk with you through these 3 signs that might change how you look at your life. Let us remind you of your worth, your journey, and the mercy of the one who never leaves your side, even when you don't see it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Deen Xplorers so you never miss an uplifting reminder. Sign 1. Rejection or delay is actually a protection. Sometimes in life, we put our heart and soul into something. We apply for a job, we ask for an opportunity, we make dua for a certain person, we pray for our plans to work, and we feel hopeful. We think this is the moment. We believe the doors will finally open, but instead, they close. The answer is no, or worse, silence. Nothing moves, nothing changes. Everything feels stuck. Our duas feel like they are going unanswered. And in those moments, the heart starts to question, why is Allah not giving me what I want? But what we fail to see is the unseen. And what we don't realize is that when Allah delays something or rejects it completely, it is not without purpose. In fact, it could be one of the greatest forms of divine protection. Allah, the Most Wise, never says no without a reason. He never delays without care. Everything He allows and everything He prevents is wrapped in His mercy. The problem is, our vision is limited. We only see what is in front of us. We don't know what lies ahead. We don't see the future. We don't know what traps are waiting for us on the path we so badly want to walk. But Allah knows. And so, when He rejects something, or when He delays it longer than we wanted, it is because He is guarding us from what we can't see. You may have wanted to marry someone, but Allah closed that door. What you didn't see was the kind of emotional pain or betrayal you would have faced later. You may have wanted a specific job, but Allah kept it away from you. What you didn't know was the environment of sin, gossip, or corruption that would have slowly destroyed your peace and faith. You may have wanted a business to succeed, but it kept failing. And what you didn't realize was that it would have drowned you in debt, stress, and distance from your Deen. In each of these moments, we only feel disappointment. But if you look deeper, you'll find hidden mercy behind every rejection. So don't lose hope when the answer is delayed. Don't be sad when you are rejected. Raise your hands in dua, wipe your tears, and say, Ya Allah, protect me from what I do not know. Save me from what I cannot see. And give me what is best for my dunya and hereafter. That prayer alone can be a shield from thousands of unseen disasters. When you walk with trust in Allah, every no becomes a redirection, every delay becomes preparation, and every rejection becomes a blessing. Allah never closes a door without opening one better. Your job is to stay patient, stay faithful, and keep moving forward. Sign 2. Sudden change of plans. Sometimes, the most confusing moments in life are actually the greatest acts of divine mercy. You don't always realize it in that instant. You might even cry or feel lost. But looking back, You'll often see how that sudden change protected you from emotional harm, spiritual downfall, or even physical danger. A sudden change of plans isn't always a disruption. It can be a form of direction. Allah quietly moving you away from harm and towards something much greater. When plans collapse or change without warning, our immediate reaction is stress. But if we train our hearts to trust, we begin to see things differently. That canceled flight could have protected you from an accident. That missed job interview might have prevented a future filled with sin. That broken engagement might have saved your soul from years of heartbreak. Allah knows what lies in tomorrow, and sometimes He rearranges your today to protect your tomorrow. We only see the surface. Allah sees the whole picture. He knows people you've never met, the conversations you never heard, the traps you never saw, and when He changes your plans, it's not to hurt you, it's to guide you. Sometimes we tie our happiness to a very specific outcome. We think, only this job will make me happy, or only this person can complete me. And so, when those plans change, we panic. But Allah wants us to tie our hearts only to Him. He wants us to believe that He alone knows what's best, not just for our worldly success, but for our spiritual protection and eternal peace. The moment you let go of the plan and hold on to the planner, your heart begins to heal. You find peace not in knowing what's next, but in knowing who's guiding you. Have you ever looked back at a moment that once broke your heart and realized it was the best thing that could have happened? That's how Allah works. At first we didn't understand, but later we realized we were being saved from something painful, or redirected towards something beautiful, or prepared for something far greater than we imagined. The sudden change of plans was never a mistake. It was a sign of Allah's protection. There is a story about a man who missed his bus to work. At first, he was angry, but later that day, he found out that the bus had gotten into a serious accident. In that moment, he cried, not out of frustration, but out of gratitude. What felt like a disruption was actually a shield. We don't always get to see these outcomes, but we must trust that they are happening. We must believe that Allah is always doing what is best for us, even when it feels uncomfortable. Sign 3. Unexplained peace in the middle of chaos. Imagine this. Your life is falling apart around you. Everything you thought was secure is suddenly unstable. People are walking away. Plans are collapsing. Pressure is rising. You're surrounded by noise, stress, and chaos. But deep inside your heart, there's a strange calm. You're not breaking down. You're not as scared as people expect you to be. You feel something quiet but powerful inside. A peace you can't explain. That, dear brothers and sisters, is not weakness. It is not denial. It is not ignorance. It is a beautiful, divine sign. Allah is protecting you, even in the middle of a storm. There are moments when the world expects you to fall apart, but you stand firm. You're not doing it with your own strength. You're doing it with Allah's strength. The storm is real. The pain is real. But somehow, you are still breathing, still smiling, still walking with faith. This is not ordinary. This is mercy. This is Allah telling you, I am with you. This kind of peace cannot be bought. It cannot be learned from books or copied from others. It is a gift, a signal from Allah that He is near, that He is guarding your heart, and that you are not facing this test alone. We often think that being saved from disaster means the problem disappears, but sometimes the real protection is that Allah strengthens your heart so much, the problem no longer controls you. You're still inside the trial, but the trial no longer breaks your spirit. That kind of peace is not normal. It is a sign that Allah is holding you close. He is carrying you when you cannot walk. He is answering your silent du'as, not always by changing your situation, but by changing your soul. Have you ever experienced that? A moment where you should have cried, but you smiled instead? A moment where everyone said, "How are you still standing?" And all you could say was, "Alhamdulillah." That's not because the pain disappeared. It's because Allah gave you peace greater than the pain. Many times this peace comes right when you need it most. in the darkest night, in the scariest hour, when the people you relied on have left, when the plans you made have failed. That's when Allah shows you, you only need me. And He wraps your heart in a kind of safety that no human words can describe. You feel like crying, but instead you feel a warmth, a comfort, an invisible hug from your Lord. And sometimes, you won't even notice it until someone else points it out. They'll say, "You've changed," and you'll smile, knowing deep inside, "Yes, I've changed. Not because life got better, but because I got closer to the one who controls life." So if you are going through chaos right now, emotionally, financially, spiritually, and yet you still feel a strange calm in your chest, do not ignore it. That is a sign that Allah is protecting you. That is His gift to you. And with that peace, you will be able to walk through storms with grace. You will be able to face trials with dignity. Because your peace doesn't come from this world. It comes from the one beyond this world. Next time you feel peace in a moment where you should be panicking, pause. Know that Allah is near. Know that His angels are close. Know that your du'as are being heard. And know that this unexplained peace is proof. Allah is saving you from a disaster you didn't even see coming. Now that we've explored these 3 powerful signs, take a deep breath and reflect. Think about your own life. Think about those moments when something didn't go the way you planned. Maybe you felt rejected. Maybe your heart broke. Maybe your dreams were delayed or even shattered. But now, after hearing all of this, can you see it differently? Can you imagine that maybe, just maybe, Allah was protecting you all along? Sometimes, we want something so badly. We beg Allah for it in every dua. But what we don't realize is that if Allah gave it to us, it might have destroyed us. It might have taken us away from our Deen, from our peace, or even from Jannah. That is the beauty of faith. That is the comfort of tawakkul. That is the peace that comes when you trust the one who created your path, even when you can't see where it leads. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. And you are never without help, because your Lord is the best of protectors. So keep walking, keep trusting, keep making dua, because your story isn't over. In fact, it's just beginning. And Allah is writing it with wisdom, with love, and with mercy. May Allah protect you from every unseen disaster, guide you to what is best, and strengthen your heart to trust Him, even in the moments of confusion, loss, or pain. And don't forget, the pain you feel today might be the protection you'll thank Allah for tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Deen Xplorers if this video touched your heart, and share it with someone who may need this reminder.